How to lose weight explained very simply. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to losing weight, okay? I've gone through many periods of my life where I've gained quite a lot of weight, but I've always managed to lose it. I remember I lost around 15 kg at one point, lost around 8 kg at another point, and now I've kept all the weight off and I'm lean and I'm looking good. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to weight loss. I've experienced it myself and I've also been researching it for a very long time. That's all you need to know. That is my credibility right there. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand about losing weight is it simply comes down to one thing, okay? You cannot lose weight without this. It simply comes down to a calorie deficit, an energy deficit. Basically, you need to expend more calories than you consume, okay? What that means is your body, right, when you're not giving it as much food as you are kind of expending the energy, right? So say you're just moving about your day, you're moving more than you're eating, right? By the way, in the description are 2 links, one to my aesthetic body course and one to my online one-to-one coaching. Go and check those out. They will change your life if you let them. What that means is your body has to get the energy from somewhere, right? It uses all the calories that you use for the day, but because you're not eating that many calories because you're in an energy deficit, your body needs to get that energy from somewhere. So it gets it from your body fat, okay? You have lots of body fat on you. Your body has it stored there for these moments where, you know, you're in a calorie deficit. So you think about like caveman times, we store body fat because there may be times where we don't eat for a month. And so we have to like rely on the body fat stores on us. That's why we have body fat basically. So it uses that body fat. It's thinking, I'm going to create energy right now. Create energy, takes the fat off, melts it around the body, whatever. And you lose the fat and you get energy, right? You can move. That's it, right? It's calories in, calories out. That is all weight loss is, okay? You expend more calories than you eat, okay? You eat less and you move more. That's it, okay? There's no certain food which is going to create weight loss. I used to think that was a real thing. That's not how it works, okay? There's not one food you're going to eat that's going to make you fat. There's not one food you're going to eat which is going to make you not fat, right? Some foods are higher in calories. Yes, some foods are not as high in calories. But if you in that day or in the week or in the month and the year are in a calorie deficit, you can eat whatever food you want and you will still lose weight, okay? I used to think also you had to eat healthy foods. You had to eat like vegetables and fruit to lose weight. Not particularly, right? People just say that because those foods are lower in calorie, meaning you're more likely to be in a deficit, meaning you're more likely to lose weight. It's not the food specifically which cause you to lose weight, okay? Please stay on track here, okay? So what do we want to do? Well, we want to lose weight by reducing our caloric intake, so how much food we're eating in a day, and try to increase how much we're moving. So that means, right, our body is not getting enough food right now. So it needs to go into the body fat stores all on us. You know, that double chin, it needs to use that double chin so you can continue moving throughout the day, right? And you might get a little bit hungry later down the line. That's fine. You know, we can deal with that. The best way to deal with hunger is just low calorie dense foods. We'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, losing weight comes down to calories in, calories out. Do not listen to anyone else who says that. Calories in, how many calories you're consuming. Calories out, how much you're moving. So what I would suggest is go and find out your caloric maintenance, how many calories you need to eat right now to stay at the same weight, right? Quite easy to do that. You can go and ask ChatGPT. You can say, hey, I'm this old, I'm this active, I weigh this much, I'm this height. Go really specific into it. It will tell you an estimated range, or a bit of a guess about how many calories you are burning in a day, on how many calories what your caloric maintenance is, okay? How many calories you need to eat to stay at the same weight, all right? Then from there, we want to just go 300 to 500 calories under that calorie maintenance. So say ChatGPT says your calorie maintenance is 3,000 calories. Wow, pretty lucky you're eating quite a lot. What you do is you would go 500 calories underneath it, 2,500 calories. That is your caloric intake, okay? So you just go, I don't know, eat food, and then you subtract it from that 2,500 total for the day. And then by the end of every single day, you should end up on 0 calories. Now, there may be some days where you may be more hungry. There may be some days where you're less hungry. What you can do is you can track your calorie intake from the week. So some days where you're a bit hungry, you can eat a bit more. Some days where you're not as hungry, you can eat a bit less, okay? So your calorie weekly total might be, I don't know, 20,000 calories, right? That means on Monday, you could have 5,000 calories, but for the rest of the days, you could only have, I don't know, however many calories making up to 20,000, and you'd still be in your deficit. Do you know what I mean? It just makes it easier. I do it that way as well. It's just easier. Anyway, I don't want to confuse anyone. while saying this. So, yeah, first step, find your calorie maintenance, go 300 to 500 calories underneath it. The reason it's 300 to 500 calories is because I personally believe you should try to build some muscle whilst you are losing this weight, because then by the end, you're going to look so much better. You're going to have a little bit of muscle. You're going to have lost all the fat. You're going to be looking really great. But when you lose all the weight and you don't put any muscle on, right? So your body is just destroying all the muscle mass that you have, destroying all the fat stores that you have because you're in an energy deficit, you then kind of just look a bit ill, right? People might be looking at you thinking, you know, you lost a lot of weight. Like, are you feeling okay? Are you ill? Like, we don't want that. We want to be looking like a Superman, superhero. So try build a little bit of muscle, right? Go to the gym, train a little bit. We're not going to go into all of that. You know what you need to do. But yeah, build a bit of muscle. That's why I say 300, 500 calories is good, because we don't want to be in too restrictive of a calorie deficit. If you think about it, if we're taking all your calories from you, you're just going to be starving. On the weekend, you're going to binge, and it's just horrible, right? We don't want to get into that cycle. Now, what else do we need to do? So we've taken some calories away from how much we're eating, right? Then we need to do some more movement, okay? You're likely not moving enough, and we want to, make sure we're being active, okay? So I would suggest not doing any cardio specifically. I'm not saying you need to do any specific cardio. I would just say increase how much you move through your steps, okay? So go and find out how many steps you're getting usually on an average day. You probably know it's probably like around 5,000, whatever. Maybe increase it to 10,000. Really easy, right? Increasing steps is one of the most easy things you could possibly do. Like, you could just go for a nice walk, put some music in, listen to a podcast, whatever, go look at nature. I don't care. Just get your steps in, 10,000 steps a day. You are going to be increasing how much you are moving, meaning the energy deficit is going to go up, right? Your body needs to, account for this walking you're doing. And so it needs to give energy so you can walk. And so it takes that energy from body fat, okay? That's what it's doing. When you're walking, it's taking, your double chin and it's letting you walk, right? Okay, obviously, maybe not like that. But anyway, your body needs to get that energy somewhere. Energy cannot just be created. It needs to be taken from your body fat already, okay? Now, it could take it from like muscle stores if you aren't training. So that's why I say you should try go to the gym and lose weight at the same time. So I just want to quickly summarize what I've said so far so you can really understand this, okay? Weight loss comes down to one thing, okay? A calorie deficit, an energy deficit, okay? Meaning you eat less then you move. That's it, okay? You will start to lose weight, right? Simple as that. I suggest you should also go to the gym though to build some muscle. So once you've lost all the weight, you also look really good, okay? That's it. Then you need to just find out your calorie maintenance. So go ask ChatGPT. It will do that for you. Be really detailed. Give an estimate. Then go 300, 500 calories under that estimate, okay? Simple as that. Then every single day, every time you eat something, you track those calories on the calculator. So say, I don't know, you put into your calculator on your phone, 2,500 calorie total for the day. Then you go and eat something, I don't know, you go eat 1,000 calories of burgers, I don't know. You minus the 1,000 calories from the 2,500, meaning the rest of the day you have 1,500 calories left, okay? Then you eat some more in the day, and then by the end of the day, you end up on 0 calories left, and then the next day, it goes back to 2,500. Are you with me? I hope you are. Anyway, then you also want to get your steps in, so you're moving more, and you're creating a bigger deficit, all right? Your body has to allow the energy to occur. It needs to give energy for you to do the movements you're doing, and so, yeah, you're burning calories, all right? Simple as that. It comes down to burning calories versus consuming calories. If you consume more calories than you burn, you will gain weight, all right? If you burn and consume around the same calories, you will stay at the same weight. If you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight. Simple as that. That's it. There's no certain foods, there's nothing like that that's going to cause you to gain or lose weight. Now, some foods are not as good as others when it comes to losing weight, right? That's why people talk about food so often that, it's going to cause you to gain fat. It's because some foods are more likely to put you in a surplus, in a caloric surplus, where you're consuming more calories than you are burning, right? Simple as that. So, for example, Oreos, right? Really easy to eat, pretty high in calories, right? You can have loads of them in a really small, they're really small, loads of calories. You can eat them really quick and you won't feel very full up, meaning you're very likely to overeat in that day. And then you're going to be in a caloric surplus where you're eating more than you are burning, right? So these highly palatable foods, Oreos, Pop-Tarts, etc., they're not inherently that bad, and they don't cause you to gain fat. They don't just, the pop doesn't just go into your body and just like gain the fat. It's more likely to put you in a surplus for the day, the week, the month, etc. if you're constantly eating them, right? I hope you understand that. And vegetables, fruit, etc., and meats, etc., they don't cause you to lose weight, but they are more likely to because they make you feel more full up, right? They have better nutrients, meaning you're gonna have more energy, and you're just simply feeling more satiated, less likely to overeat those foods. Remember, the highly palatable foods like the Oreos, the processed foods, the McDonald's, really easy to eat a lot of without getting full, right? Really high in calories, you're more likely to be in a surplus. Eating those real whole foods, the one ingredient foods, the meat, the eggs, the fruit, the vegetables, etc., high in fiber, high in protein, those fill you up, they make you feel good, and yeah, you're more likely to just lose weight eating those foods. Now, I would personally suggest the 80-20 diet whilst you are cutting down. What is this diet? Well, I tried to lose, well, I'm not saying I tried, I lost 8 kg eating just those real whole foods, right? It took me around 3 months. It was so painful and restrictive and horrible that I literally had gained all of the weight back and then some. I gained 15 kg once I finished my cut because I'd restricted myself so much in the foods I wanted to eat, right? So I just binged and gained all the weight back. So to kind of account for this, what I've thought of doing or what I've put into my own life is the 80-20 diet. 80% of the time, you eat the real whole foods, the one ingredient foods that fill you up, really good with nutrients, you know, high in protein, helping you build muscle, etc., right? The good whole foods, you know what foods I'm talking about. Then 20% of the time, or 20% of your calories, they go to the fun processed foods so you can still enjoy your life whilst you are dieting, all right? Maybe even 30% of those foods. But remember, those, you can eat whatever you want and still lose weight, okay? If you track your calories, you know for a fact you're in a deficit, you could eat just Oreos. But the reason it's difficult to do that is because Oreos, they're not going to fill you up, are they? They're not going to be giving you the right nutrients. They're not going to help you give you energy. So you're going to go do the steps you need to do or go to the gym, etc. It's just more difficult to eat those foods and lose weight. That is it, right? It took me so long to understand this. I used to think, you hear online, you say, vegetables help, like they're going to make you lose weight. Okay, but no one said why. Vegetables are going to help you lose weight because they fill you up, they're low in calories, high in fiber, they're more likely to keep you in your deficit. The main reason diets fail and people can't lose weight is because they are too restrictive and they're too hungry, right? They restrict their calories too much, so they're too hungry, and they don't allow themselves to have any of the nice foods, right? They just completely take them out. I have French toast every single day, anabolic French toast every single day, and I've dropped, I can't even tell you how much weight I've dropped. I've dropped probably 16, 17 kg from my last bulk. Don't ever bulk, by the way, it's stupid. Anyway. Yeah, so, you know, you can still enjoy these foods. You know, every single day, maple syrup, zero sugar maple syrup on my French toast. I'm having protein ice cream. I'm just having popcorn. I'm having the nice foods that are filling me up. They're going to help me get to my goals of putting on muscle because they have high protein and they taste good. And that's it. Like, there's nothing too crazy about it. You want to be eating the low calorically dense foods, right? So the foods that you can eat quite a lot of, right? And they're low in calories. For example, fruits and vegetables. You can eat quite a lot of them and they're very, very low in calories, right? Meaning you're going to feel more full up, and that means you're less likely to overeat and be in a caloric surplus, okay? That's it. No more to it. Simple as that. That is weight loss. Calorie deficit, calories in, calories out. If you move more than you eat, you're going to be losing the fat on your body. And remember, you can't take fat from certain areas. You just lose all overall body fat, okay? That's how it works. It's going to take time. You're going to be a bit hungry sometimes. You're going to fail and binge a few times. But if you just stay on that consistent track, your weight is going to slowly go down. And make sure you weigh yourself every day in the morning, every single day once you've done your duties in the toilet, and then get the median weight for the week, okay? So cross out the outliers in the week and then find that kind of middle average number for the week and then see if you're going down from that weekly average week to week. That's it. It's simple, it's easy, but it is going to require a bit of discipline and a bit of hard work. Simple as that. Now, in the description, oh my God, I didn't even mention this, sorry. In the description, there is my aesthetic body course. Basically, this teaches you exactly how to build an aesthetic, attractive looking physique, and it teaches you everything you need to know to get into the best shape of your life. It's all of my advice, all of my knowledge, which I have been learning for about 5 years now, right? I've seen it in my own life, made mistakes in weight loss, corrected those mistakes. I've gone through the trials and tribulations, so I can just give you all of the correct answers so you can just make loads of progress. Then the other link goes to my online one-to-one coaching. You can hop on a call with me for dirt cheap, and I will answer any question, give you any piece of advice that is specific to you when it comes to fitness, building a dream physique, etc. And remember, I know a lot about this. I've been doing this for a very long time. It is my passion, and I'm always ready to help you in the best way I can. And you will get into the best shape of your life if you listen to what I say. And remember, healthy body is a healthy mind, and nothing changes if nothing changes. Do you want to continue looking in the mirror and not liking what you see looking back at you, or do you want to change? All right? Answer that question and then go check those links out. All right? Go change your life, and yeah.